What will your dream Kansas Jayhawk team look like?
Obviously, we put Joel at the five. I say Devontae Graham going number the point guard. I
Hmm.
watched him a little bit. He's really tough.
Hmm.
And Ochai is really good. He's definitely going to be a really, really good, impactful player in the league.
Yep.
But yeah, I say he's probably number two. I got Wiggins, and then I'll probably say I'll put one of the Morris twins on there as well.
Hmm.
But yeah, those my those my five.
So you're not going to put Wilt, Paul Pierce, or Danny Manning in there?
Oh snap! I forgot those. Let's see. Yeah, Paul is definitely in there, of course.
Mhm.
Mario,
Mhm.
Chalmers is in
Yep.
there. So I'll probably say Joel, Wiggs, Paul, Mario, and I'll say Ochai. Ochai
Mhm.
had a really outstanding season this past season. So I'll probably say yeah, Ochai.
What's going on today? I'm the host, SchuZ, and joining me today is a 2022 McDonald's All-American nominee, an honorable mention selection, the 2021 Peace Jam, a member of the 2021-2022 UIL Boys 6A All-State Team, a four-star recruit, the number 5 ranked player in the state of Texas, the number 41 ranked player in the class of 2022, according to 24/7's 2022 Top 100. And he's the second member of Kansas's number 3 ranked 2022 recruiting class, Zuby Ejiofor. Zuby, appreciate taking time to come on today, man.
Yeah, it's good today. Nice to meet you. Nice to be here.
Absolutely, man. Well, we got a lot to get into today, but I want to start off with one thing, and I believe your name is not actually Zuby, so I'm not going to try to pronounce it exactly. So I want you to kind of say your true name and kind of how'd you get the name Zuby?
My real name is Chukwuebuka Ejiofor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my mom she got Zuby from my middle name,
Mm.
so it's really unique.
Now, obviously, that is a unique part about your story, which we'll probably get into. So, if we head back, I want people to get to know your journey to this point because obviously it's a unique one, not just obviously coming from Nigeria to America, but also just blowing up in the past year or two. So, I want to go back though. I believe you were either born in America and then you went to Nigeria, or you went from Nigeria and right to America. Take us to that a little bit.
Yeah, I was born here in the United States, and then I think I went to Nigeria when I was two, and
Mm-hmm.
then I was living with my brothers and my dad for like I'll say 4 years till my mom she decided that we was gonna move to the United States. So we did that, and ever since then we just went back to Nigeria to visit. So we've been living here for a while now.
When you talk about Nigeria, obviously you're still pretty young, so you probably don't remember like everything from growing up out there for a little bit. But what were some things you took from that, and what was it like living out there for a little bit?
Yeah, it's definitely different. The United States is a whole lot more
Mm-hmm.
modern cities and buildings and stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad, but yeah, it's a whole lot, different than the United States. So
Having that kind of in your background, a place that you can represent, kind of take pride in. What does it mean to know that you can represent Nigeria now on not just living life on the day to day life, but also now on a basketball scene, rather it be now at college at Kansas or professionally possibly? Like, what does that mean to you?
it means a lot because where I come from, it's really hard to
Mm-hmm.
like make like a sport of basketball like as a profession. So
Mm-hmm.
that that doesn't happen a lot. So for me, it really means a lot. Like my mom always told me to remember where I'm from. So I'm definitely going, like remember where I'm definitely from. So yeah, coming to the United States was a big impact in my life right now.
When you look at the future, I have to imagine that potentially representing Nigeria, rather it be in the FIBA level, maybe an Olympics someday, would be something that would interest you possibly. Is that something you ever thought of? Is that something we could possibly see you take interest in the future?
Definitely, definitely. I didn't start thinking about it till like a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
I seen like I started getting the feel for basketball, so I was like, man, what if I play for my country
Mm-hmm.
when the time comes? So yeah, it was definitely a thought in my head.
That is a unique thing too, because Nigeria as a whole has developed a lot in terms of basketball. Like obviously, I'm not sure if it's surpassed like soccer or some other sports, but it's becoming something that more kids are trying to play now. Obviously, maybe not even guys that are from Nigeria, but guys like Ochai Agbaji obviously has different descent from there. Obviously, Ernest Udo, someone we're talking about to your future teammate. Then you just look at guys like
Uh-huh.
Spencer Dinwiddie, Gabe Vincent, guys like that. Seeing the growth where there's a lot more guys that you can kind of relate to that have played basketball and have Nigerian descent. What does that mean to you, and what's that like?
I'm just trying to pick up from them. They're in the league right now, and that's where I'm trying to get to. So, just like studying their game and kind of, realizing how they got there. So that, that's a couple of tips to add on to me to, like realize what it takes to get to the level that I want to be at. So they're definitely impactful players in my life that I look at and see that, they were kind of in my position. So they're at the position that I want to be at. So I'm going to, study their game and figure out how they did that.
This might put you on the spot, but who would you say at anyone that qualifies from Nigeria, rather that they're from Nigeria or their parents are from Nigeria, whatever it is, who is the best player Nigerian descent that you'd say is in the NBA today or playing college? Like who's the best player from Nigeria in your opinion?
Giannis. Giannis, bro. Giannis, the most dominant player in the league right now. I'm pretty sure his parents.
Yep.
Yeah, his parents, they from Nigeria, so he has a little bit of that descent. So he's definitely the best player in the league right now.
As I said, you then make the transition to America then when you're about 6 years old. What led to that transition then for you?
Yeah, like I said before, it's just like my mom realizing that, moving us to the States was the best option for us at that time. So yeah, she moved us to the States, whole lot more different. I had to, pick up their way of living because I was pretty young. So I started making friends and I started, getting interested in the game of basketball, and that's how I got here.
I read something that you started playing basketball at least seriously around eighth grade, but did you ever play it growing up at all? Was that a sport you pursued? Was it other sports you liked growing up, or when did basketball really start coming into your life?
I would say around the eighth grade. I played football that year too, but like I started growing, man. I started growing, so people was putting me on basketball, saying that, man, you should really take this serious. You got the hype. So yeah, I took a pretty good interest in that. I started practicing a lot and going to the gym by myself at times. So just studying the game a little bit, and yeah.
You're not the only person in your family that plays basketball. You have a brother that's a year older that you also played high school with that now moved on. Now, obviously, you have a younger brother in 2023 who's going to be up and coming a year younger than you. Growing up where you can have siblings that push you, that play the same thing that you love, what has that been like?
It's really exciting, and it's really a blessing, playing with my brothers, and they getting me better. I'm getting them better constantly on a daily. So that's really not a lot of kids get that, that brotherly bond, that fight, that brotherly fights and stuff. So playing against my brothers, they pushing me to my limits. I'm pushing them. Yeah, it's really special.
I have to imagine you just have played a lot of one-on-one games, king of the court games before. How
Yeah,
did those games go?
thanks. Uh, of course, I took that dub, but they won't admit that. But it's always been me. I was always at the top. So,
Has anyone ever got a win before besides you?
uh, I it happens. They both got to win, but I got the most dubs, so I'm good with that.
Obviously, as I said, there is a brother that's younger than you who's going to take over now at your steps now as you move on to Kansas. So take us to him a little bit. Like, what can people expect from him, and what is he capable of reaching? What's the levels and the heights that he can reach now going forward?
Chooks is really gonna be good. He's gonna put his name somewhere, and people are gonna realize that he has game as well. Not just because he's Zuby younger brother, but just like he actually has his own skill set that he actually wants to get somewhere as well. He want to go to college, D1, and impact as well as I'm trying to do right now. So yeah, he's really talented. He's a really talented kid, and people really gonna realize his name soon enough.
When you do come to America, you guys go to Texas, which obviously is regarded, in my opinion, as the number one state in terms of basketball in this past era now. You have to go against countless top-ranked guys all the time, especially in the areas you are in Texas and Dallas. So, what's it been like growing up and playing basketball now in Dallas?
Uh, it's really exciting. I heard that the best basketball players come from Texas, so
Mhm.
it's really true. So I've been playing against a whole lot of talented guys from this area, and yeah, they've been getting me better. I remember all the competition and the camps and the games.
Mhm.
These Dallas kids, they really tough. So playing against them has really got me to the kind of person I am right now.
What would you say is a culture of not just Texas basketball, but especially Dallas? I mean, kind of, I guess, in the whole is Texas, but what's kind of the identity of a Texas play? Like when you guys might go out of state or whatever it is, what makes up a Texas play and why are they different than, per se, a Georgia kid or a California kid or a New York kid? Like, what makes a Texas basketball player?
We got a whole lot of fight in us, man. Yeah, we really compete. That's the one thing about us. We compete against guys a lot. Like we want that. You feel me? So we compete. Uh I would say that's the main thing.
Mhm.
Competition. That dog in us. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's really it.
Who would you say has been your favorite guy to match up against? As we looked at your schedule, the guys you've gone up against in high school, who is your favorite player to match up against in the state of Texas you've gone up against throughout high school?
Uh I'll probably say hmm, I gotta take a good one on this because I played
Mhm.
a whole lot of talented guys. Guys like Anthony Black. I played Casey Wallace.
Mhm.
I played Jordan Walsh. I'll probably say Jordan Walsh
Mhm.
because me and Jordan, we always went at it every single time we played against each other. We always went at it, but we cool off the court and stuff. But like when it's like time to hoop, that's where we like that competition factor. That's where it comes out. We compete hard against each other, so that's probably my favorite one.
Another unique thing about you before getting to your high school career is that another an important person that's come into your life now that has been around you pretty much and helped mentor you throughout basketball since you pretty much came back to America, and that's Dr. Andy Philachack. So take us to that a little bit. How did he come into your life? Just take us to the story of how you guys first met and now just the overall impact he's had on your journey to this point.
It's really crazy because I met him in middle school.
Hmm.
I met him in middle school. He came to one of my games because one of his kids was on my middle school team. So he came to watch his kid play, and then he seen me, and then he was an AAU coach, so he seen me, and he realized that he needed a big kid to play on his team. So after the game, he came, he had a little talk with me and said, "Man, I would love to have you play for us and stuff." So then 2 days later, I think I went to one of his practices and stuff, and yeah, the journey really started from there. And now he's more than just like an AU coach.
Hmm.
He's way more than that, man. He's like a big father figure in my life, and he's been there since that day to right now. So the bond is really there, and I'm really, really lucky to have him as my father figure.
So when you first met him after that tournament, then what was it about him that you originally said, I do like this guy. I'm going to trust him. I want him to be a part of my life, at least for that point in time. What was it about him in the very beginning that you liked?
It's he always kept it real. You feel
Hmm.
me? If I wasn't good enough, he would tell me that. He's always straightforward. So I'm not gonna say I was the best one back then, but out of everyone, he's really the one that trusted me and believed that I could really get somewhere. So that was really a main point in me, like playing for him for real. And then it's just the love, man. Because like once I met him, the
Hmm.
first week he treated me like he's been knowing me for years, man. That's how it is. So just being that type of person is really what made me decide to play for him.
When you talk about yourself and truly fall in love with this game, when did that point come? Like, when did you start feeling like, I love this game. This is something I want to pursue full force. I'm going to go all in on basketball. When did that come for you?
Uh, I'm gonna say freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Eighth grade year, I was pretty decent. It's just like I really played the game because I thought it was fun. But like high school is when it started getting serious. Like I started growing tremendously, and then a whole lot of people, my teachers, my friends, they were like, "Man, you should really take this serious. You're pretty tall. You could really be good at it and stuff." So I really started taking it serious. I started practicing a whole lot more. I'm telling you, I practiced like 3-4 weeks, 3-4 days a week with
Mm-hmm.
my coach Andy, and man, it just blew up from there. So definitely freshman year.
When you headed into high school, what was about Garland High? Why was that the school you ended up playing your basketball career at, and why is that the school you ended up attending?
Uh, my coach Andy, he knew the high school coach really well. Like they were really close, so he introduced me to the Coach Randy Love, and yeah, man, he's a pretty good dude. He takes care of me when I'm at school. He really takes care of me. So 4 years of bonding right now, and it's really strong, stronger than ever. So I'm really glad I was able to meet him.
So let's dive into your very first year in high school then. What was that first year of basketball like?
It was crazy because actually I was supposed to be on a varsity team, and some incident happened, so that caused me to play on JV.
Mm.
So I actually didn't get to play for Coach Randy Love my freshman year. I played for my JV coach. So it was a whole lot of changes. I was kind of down, because I wanted to play on varsity, but JV really prepared me for that moment because, yeah, Coach Hart, that's my JV coach. So he taught me a whole lot of things to get me ready for that next level next year. So playing on JV really impacted me getting ready for varsity next year after that.
Do you feel like at that point in time, so when you were a freshman, were you good enough to be on the varsity team, or was it just 100% basically whatever happened incident wise? Was that kind of the only reason you don't think you could have played on varsity that year?
Uh, yeah, I definitely was good enough. I
Mm-hmm.
was good enough, but I don't think I would have made as big as an impact as I did my sophomore year. So
Mm-hmm.
playing on JV, like I said, really helped me. But I was good enough, but I still needed some work to be done.
And obviously that kind of comes to God a little bit. Obviously, everything happens for a reason. Might not be something that you probably liked at the beginning, but obviously helps you down the road. How big would you say getting a year where you had to develop, play, and getting a chance to be the guy, dominate for a year on the JV level? How big would you say that ended up becoming for you that sophomore year and then obviously going forward?
Uh, yeah, on JV, I was really that guy. So my JV coach, he had a game plan to, like kick the ball down low to the big every game. So that really impacted us. I think we ended up being tied for district champions
Mm-hmm.
that year. So yeah, I made a whole lot of impact. I made a whole lot of friends. Yeah, so I was really that guy on the team. So I made the most impact. I made sure that I did my job as the leader. You know, get buckets when I needed to, but also found my teammates. When they're wide open and get them in the game, in the flow of the game as well. So
You head into that sophomore season then, and you guys have a pretty solid overall season, 16-13, but you averaged almost 18, a little bit over 18 points a game that year, almost 11 rebounds per game, 2.5 steals per game, almost 2.5 blocks per game. What was that second year in high school like?
a whole lot of changes. My coaches told me that it was going to be different from the JV level,
Mm-hmm.
and I believed them. But yeah, that sophomore year was kind of tough because I had to realize quick that it was a big difference. So I got in the gym more. I focused on cardio, and then get my strength right. I focused more on ball handling,
Mm-hmm.
my shot. Yeah, everything had to be a lot more precise than the freshman year. So big changes, but I picked it up quick.
We go back a little bit, but if someone would have came and told you heading into high school, or even after that year you spent on JV, that in 2 or 3, 4 years you're going to be a nationally ranked recruit, a top 50 player in the country, one of the best players in the state of Texas, have offers from the likes of a Texas, Kansas, TCU, the list goes on. Would that have shocked you? Is that what you were expecting for yourself? Or how would you have reacted if someone told you that?
I would just, I don't know, man, because I didn't think much about it.
Hmm.
I heard about it a lot, but I really didn't think I'll be in that position.
Hmm.
I felt like I was good, but I felt like I had to do a whole lot more work because at that time I really wasn't noticed, you know.
Hmm.
So I was just like hoping for a little D1, D2 or something, but D1 for sure. But yeah, that year that all the offers started coming in, I was really shocked, and I probably wouldn't have believed I would have been in that moment at that time. So
At what point would you say your talent you started feeling like was good enough to play at a high level? Because obviously sometimes there's a gap in time between when scouts and coaches might realize it and when you realize it. But when would you say you started feeling like, I'm good enough to play at a high major school? I know I'm one of the best players in Texas. I know I'm one of the best players in the country. When did that start coming to you?
I would say junior year,
Mm-hmm.
and especially when I played in UIBL. Playing in UIBL prepared me a whole lot. Like after the UIBL, that changed my whole perspective on the game. It changed my the way I played. So, playing high level guys, the guys that that's definitely gonna make it to the college level and definitely sometimes the league, someday the league.
Mm-hmm.
Playing against those guys on a daily basis for like 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
that really helped me change my whole game a lot, prepare me for a whole lot of challenges coming into my senior year. So definitely junior year.
Following that sophomore season, or at least right on the end of it, is when COVID comes into play and shuts down the world. And obviously, people all experience that. How did you get through that? Because I know Texas was a little bit more open than some states, so you guys could still work out more so than, per se, New York or California, whatever it might be. But how was that COVID offseason? Just staying home for the most part, working out, probably just you with your brothers or whatever it might have been. What was that COVID offseason like?
It was it was so crazy. It was so hard for me and my brothers to get in the gym. I'm
Mm.
talking about we went outside to go hoop on the outside goals and stuff. And the heat, like it was so hard to find the gym to work out in. So yeah, we wanted to get out the house. I couldn't stay in the house for that long. So anywhere I could just find a court, I would just go outside and just hoop by myself at times with my brothers, whatever it might, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I would do. So it was definitely hard. I don't want to go through that year again. It was definitely hard.
Would you say you were able to work out more than you would have had it been no COVID? So obviously gyms were open, but you could still go do other things around the city or whatever it might have been. Would you say you worked out the same you typically would, a little bit less, or how much work were you able to put in during that COVID time?
Uh, a lot actually.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say that I went in the gym a lot before that, but
Mm-hmm.
during that time, I realized that I had to work a lot on my body because whenever the COVID is dialed down, I gotta always stay ready for the challenges coming up. So whatever workout I did, if it's push ups, sit ups, whatever it may be, we even have like a couple dumbbells in my house as well. So I lifted those as well. So I worked out a lot, like I would say 3 times a week. So yeah, we definitely I definitely worked on my body during that year.
You mentioned that's kind of when the switch flipped for you and you started realizing, this is something I want to buy into. I know I can have a future in this if I put the work in. What caused that switch to flip for you? Like, what caused you to all of a sudden say, I know that I need to put in more work. I know this is what I want to do. What caused that to kind of click for you?
Realizing that I could just like make a future out of myself playing the game that I love. And my mom, she worked a lot. So I'm just hoping, to make it to that level where I can make a lot of money to supply for my family and myself a little bit. But yeah, just knowing that playing the game I love to play can really save me and my entire family, that really pushed me and clicked in my head that, I need to work for what I want and get the reward later.
We also touched a little bit on your siblings. So having to go through a pandemic where you at least had them alongside you, that you could at least practice and play some form of one-on-one or whatever it might be. How big was that for you?
It was pretty exciting. My brother's they goofy, so I can't really take him serious at times.
Mhm.
But when we hoop, we really get at it all the time. We always gonna get at it, and yeah, it was really fun. It was a whole lot of that year. We really bonded a lot more than a year without COVID. So
Mhm.
getting that little bond of that family bonding, it was something really good for me.
Who would you say is the funniest one out of the three of you?
A whole lot of people always say it's me. Uh, Sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't get it, but yeah, it's always me apparently. So I'm gonna take it, I guess.
You guys then get to go and play high school together. I know you guys were still at the same school then your sophomore year, but now you guys really get to play together on varsity, and really all you guys have a much solid role in that team now. Getting to play alongside them at the high school level, what has that been like?
It was exciting. I played with my brother Hugo and Troops.
Mhm.
So that year we kind of fell short in the playoffs, which was really tough because that was my older brother last year in high school, and
Mhm.
we wanted to do a whole lot better than what we did. I think we fell short in the second round. So yeah, it was really tough on us. And the next year, I played with my younger brother Chooks, uh, which is this year.
Mhm.
So I definitely knew that I was going to be a whole lot better than what I was the year before. So we went pretty far. I was satisfied with where we got to. So just playing with my brothers and experiencing that moment that not a lot of kids get to get, that was pretty exciting.
You get ready for that junior season then, and at that point in time, you still were pretty much unranked. I know some people started hearing about your name a little bit here and there, but when you were getting ready for that junior year, what were your goals? Like, what did you want to do heading into your junior season? Did you want to break out the way you did? Is that kind of what you expected to have happen, or what did you want to get done in that junior season?
Yeah, like you said, I really wasn't known
Mhm.
much. So junior year, I just wanted to make a name for myself and for people to realize, who I am and my skill set and accomplish a whole lot of goals that I set out for myself.
Mhm.
Uh, I wanted to be in all these all-star games that, these high-level guys are in. I wasn't able to do that, but I'm still satisfied with the position I'm in because, like I said, I really wasn't known at all, and I've been waiting a whole lot of a long time just to be ranked. So it finally happened, and a whole lot of people kind of realized that this kid is actually good. So that was one of my main goals, that year, just getting recognized.
Did you expect to have that much of a breakout season between your junior high school season and AAU season? Is that what you expected, or did you even surprise yourself at how much you blew up that year?
Oh yeah, it was definitely surprising. Definitely surprising. Like D1 offers just keep calling me and stuff. It was heck. It was getting crazy. I
Mhm.
definitely didn't expect that. So blessed to be in that moment with my entire family. But yeah, it definitely wasn't an expectation.
You also mentioned that the ranking thing was something that you just wanted to be ranked at some point in your career. Did that ever get to you though? I know growing up, going through your freshman, or I think they start off your sophomore year, and then obviously the summer going into your junior season, not being ranked, did that affect you in any way? Is that something you're just kind of looked at and said, okay, it is what it is? Or how'd you adjust to and take in that aspect?
It definitely did affect me. But my coach Andy, he talked to me a lot. He said that, just give it time that people will recognize who you are. But at the time, I ain't gonna lie, it really was getting to me. So I realized that, I had to work a whole lot harder
Mhm.
just for people to get at me because they weren't in the position that I really wanted to be at. So I realized that, I gotta work a whole lot harder to get what I want. So it definitely did get to me a little bit. But my coach, he kind of had a few conversations. My high school coaches, my friends, they all believed in me and they knew that, I was a pretty talented kid. So them just having that little conversation with me helped me realize that, it really doesn't matter as much as I think he does. But yeah, they really helped me out in that category.
When you did first see your name on the rankings, I'm sure you were excited. It was a great moment for you. But now over the past year and a half or whatever it's been, have you gotten to the point almost where you're saying, it is what it is now. You don't really care about them as much. Just like, okay, my name's there. Has it maybe motivated you even more to want to get higher ranked? Or now at this point in time, how do you take in the rankings?
Now this time it's like that's great, but rank is not gonna matter in college, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah, I was ranked this, I was ranked that. It's really a blessing to be at that point, like my junior year. But senior year, you gotta realize that in college, rank is not gonna matter. No matter what rank you are, you're just gonna have to work
Yeah.
for what you want. You're gonna have to work to start. It's not gonna be given to you. So no matter what no matter what rank you were, it's not gonna matter. So that's the kind of mindset I have going into college.
Let's go a little bit deeper into that junior season then, because COVID is still having a large presence upon the country that year. I know there's a lot of different adjustment players had to make because of the pandemic that season. So take us the ups and downs of your junior season in high school.
Uh, yeah, like you said, the COVID. Yeah, that really took a toll on my team. We really didn't have a whole lot of fans. Like gyms were not as packed as we wanted to be. So yeah, just trying to find gyms to work out in. Not having a whole lot of fans at the game. That was kind of a down moment. But we prepared ourselves for the next year. We realized that we should know what it takes to be better the next coming year. So that really helped us a lot.
Let's switch over to AAU then. You were on the Houston Hoops that season, and you guys had a really good team that year. Talking about Mari, who obviously had a big breakout year in the past 24 or about 12 months or whatever it's been. Cam obviously is a great player going to Florida State. Chris Johnson's up and coming top ranked player in 2023. John Lane's another great player. What was it like being a part of that team in your final AAU season?
It was really exciting. I built a little bit of a bond with them guys, and yeah, those are my dogs for real. They're really talented, like you said. They
Mhm.
all going D1. Chris and them in the 2023 class, they all coming up. So yeah, it was really special to be a part of that group.
We'll get back into recruiting, obviously, because around this time when you end up going through the recruiting process, you end up going to Kansas and stuff like that. But kind of jumping a little bit in front now, you look back at your entire AAU career, all the members you created. What would you say is your favorite AAU memory you have?
Uh, I'll probably say with Beast Up.
Mm-hmm.
With Beast Up, I feel like I played a whole lot more free. I remember playing against the Night Riders. They had, I think, four ranked guys in the top 100 on ESPN, and I think I dropped 28th that game. So yeah, I did that, and we were able to come up with a dub. And yeah, like my Twitter was literally like going crazy that day. So that's probably one of my favorite AU moments.
The bubble situation out there for the EYBL, which you guys obviously went to, was a little bit crazy for Peace Jam. So take us that experience a little bit because you had a huge performance there. You were winning. You're a member, I think, honorable mention all Peace Jam team that time around. What was it like being a part of the Peace Jam and going through that bubble experience there?
It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks in a hotel, playing a whole lot of games. It was definitely a whole new experience in my life, and it was definitely worth it. It
Mm-hmm.
was a good experience for me. Like I said before, it really helped me work on my game a whole lot. It helped me improve playing such talent every day. So yeah, it was definitely a fun and a good experience for me.
I do want to touch up on something else school related now before we get into your senior season, and that is in the classroom. I know you value your academics a lot. You're a great student in the classroom. What has inspired you, or what has made you want to pursue your academics and make that a priority in your life, even though you obviously have this talent and the skill basketball wise?
My mom, she always said that playing basketball is great, but if you don't have no basketball, what are you gonna do?
Mm.
So I'm planning to go one and done in college. probably even 2, but I want to end up sometime during my career ending up getting a degree because school is always going to be there, and you actually like need school when the ball start bouncing, like I've been told a whole lot by my coaches and stuff. So the ball is going to start bouncing someday, and you need something to fall back on, So education is definitely a good thing to have.
Let's say that the ball does stop bouncing at some point, or when that time does come, rather that be earlier in life, that comes after a long, long NBA career and you're 40 something years old, whenever that time does come, is there something else that you'd say you found a passion in, rather be in the basketball world, another avenue of life? Like, what is something else that you could see yourself possibly getting into down the road?
Uh, I actually don't know. I've been trying to have a thought on this, but I'm probably thinking of like doing a business.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that he helps that a whole lot of athletes has done that. So
Yeah.
that's probably what I'm probably majoring in college, business.
Let's hop into your final year of high school, and this has been by far your best season. You averaged 22 points a game, 13 rebounds a game, 4 blocks, 2 steals per game, and you guys also go 26-2 this year. Were you expecting to have this good of a senior year? Was this kind of shocking you a little bit, or what's the past year been like in terms of your final high school season?
Not at all. I was not expecting that at all, man.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody was expecting that from us. Nobody. But it's just like the reason we were able to do that good is because the trust that we have and the bond that we made with each other the past 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what got us to that moment. And 26-2, that's not easy at all for a local high school team like Garland. That wasn't easy at all. But we fought through all the challenges, all the tough teams, and we were able to play a really, really good Duncanville team. And that's when it all came to an end. But I have no regrets on this following season, man. It was a season full of so many memories and love. All these fights and all the fights I went through with my teammates, it was definitely unforgettable. And no regrets on this season at all.
Go to the Duncanville game a little bit, because obviously you guys were a great team. Duncanville is a national powerhouse type school. So what was that game like?
It was frustrating. I know they're ranked number 1.
Something like that. Yeah, they're up there for sure. Yeah, I think I'm top 3 at least. Yeah.
Yeah, top 3 at least. But I'll probably say 1.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, playing against the number 1 team, we all knew it was going to be a tough game. We all knew that, but mentally, I try to stay prepared. I try to get my teammates prepared as well and involved in the game. But yeah, they started off pretty quick on us. So I think they started off on a 17-0 run, if I'm not mistaken. But 17-0, I really tried as much to make the best impact that I could on that game. But yeah, Duncanville, I give credit to them guys. They got a whole lot of talented kids, and we tried to compete a little bit, but the game kind of got out of hand really early. So yeah, that was the biggest. That was to end my high school career like that really wasn't fun. But on to the next.
The unique thing, though, is that, like, as you said, Garland's not necessarily known compared to Duncanville, but compared to an average school in terms of basketball, it's still huge. You guys have had, I believe, 3 players who played in the NBA before from there. Knowing that that's a history, they have got guys that have gone to the NBA later on in life. What kind of motivation or maybe inspiration is that to you know that you could become the 4th one now?
Just knowing that it's happened before and it could definitely happen again. I trust in my skill set. I trust that, I could go to Kansas and make a really good impact my freshman year and get looks from all these colleges as well. So just like believe it, that belief in my own game and the belief from others around me, my friends and my family, they all believe that I could get to the place that I want to get to. So that just trusting in my own game, I feel like is really what motivates me a lot, that I'm going to get to that point that I want to get to.
So what was your favorite high school basketball memory now? When you look back at all 4 years, the JV one, the three varsity ones, what's your favorite high school memory?
This coming year,
Mm-hmm.
like I said, man, I have no regrets on this year. A whole lot of memories with this team. I love this previous team. They're probably the most loved. They're the most loved for me. Um, yeah, that's definitely my high school my best high school memory. All the rides, the laughter,
Mm-hmm.
they're all like most of them. They're all goofy. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite memory. You know, like how far we got into the playoffs, all the fights.
Mm.
That's definitely my best one.
Obviously, people know you as someone that's leading Garland now as a top 50 recruit, one of the top players in Texas, going to Kansas. But if you could choose what you want people to remember you for, rather that be what you did on the court or off of it, what do you want people to remember you for what you achieved throughout and what you did on and off the court throughout your Garland career?
On the court, I'll probably say I want people to realize that I played the game the right way every time. That I'm an unselfish player, and I'm always play 100% of the time. Playing the game I love, just like the fun and joy I have playing with the game. I want people to realize that that's my favorite the favorite part of me on the court. Off the court, it's just like I'll probably say I want people to realize that I'm a really, really good kid. That I care a lot for a whole lot of people. So just like the love I have for all my friends and stuff, that's
Mhm.
probably what I want people to realize about me.
Well, let's backtrack now a little bit, but it's getting your recruiting process now. So, as we mentioned, now you are going through that junior AU season or going to senior year AU season this past year, and you blow up. You get offers from countless schools. You end up going on visits to Oklahoma, Texas, TCU, Kansas, Arkansas, I believe, too. When you were just getting these offers, though, how are you dealing with that? What was it like just taking in, knowing that, okay, I'm at this position now. I've reached the point where players and coaches all want me. They realize me as a top player. What was that feeling like?
Um, it was really good because I realized that the hard part is getting the offers.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that I already got all them offers that I wanted, the hardest part at the moment was thinking about where I want to go to. What's the best fit? What school's going to be the best fit for me? So yeah, it was definitely a moment that was definitely unbelievable to me. I got to experience that with my brothers, my parents, my family. So that was really a really special moment in my life. All the visits, we drove to all them schools
Mm-hmm.
actually. So it was definitely exciting.
When you got that very first Division One offer, going back to whenever that came, take us to who it was and what your reaction was.
It was from TCU.
Mm-hmm.
My first D1 offer was from TCU. And at that point, I wasn't even noticed. I wasn't known. I wasn't on the map. I wasn't ranked. So um yeah, it was crazy. Me and my coach, we got to experience that firsthand. Then I told my mom, and they were all excited because D1, that was my goal. That was what I wanted to get to. So knowing that I accomplished that was definitely a really good moment in my life. That first offer.
The other crazy thing is that because you guys were in 2022 and COVID was in the picture, visits weren't allowed for the majority of your time until up until about right. I think it was June, whatever, July, whatever that date was when it started happening, maybe even June.
Uh-huh.
When you guys first got to start going on these visits and experiencing schools like Kansas and Arkansas and TCU and Texas, what was that like?
Uh, it's a moment that I definitely didn't want to take for granted. Like I said, we drove to all them schools. It was constant hours of just driving, but me and my coach and his wife, who's also like a mom to me as well. That's like my second mom. But us three and one of their kids as well, we all got to experience those moments, them visiting all these beautiful campuses and just like it's something new in our life, and I got to experience that with those guys. So that was really special. Uh, no regrets on the rides and the hours. Uh, a little bonding moment between all of us. I would say we got a whole lot closer during those times. So it was really good.
Was the driving part, was that something that you guys just decided as a family, as a group to say, we want to drive this out? You guys did want to fly out, or what was the reasoning behind driving out to each campus?
Uh, it was my coach. He was the one who was driving us all of them places. Uh, yeah, we just decided as a family, we had a long talk about it. We just decided that we were just gonna drive from college to college, and we didn't just do it all at once. It's like we drove to them colleges that's kind of a little bit closer to each other. So, and then we will go home and then we take a break a little bit. Then we get on the road again. So that's what happened.
On the court, though, I have to imagine it got a little different for yourself. Now you have to go in a situation where players know your name, people know who you are, you're being game planned for on the national scene. How did you adjust to that? How was the adjusting period of now being someone that everyone knew who you were on the court?
It was crazy, man. I got double team, triple team from my in my own district. Playoffs, it kind of dialed down. I don't think they really knew who I was a little bit, but in my own district, they all knew who I was. So I would get double teamed a lot, but I still made a big impact. If I wasn't scoring, I would rebound, I would block shots. So I would find my guys open. So, that was and the really special moments is like the kids that want a picture. Those really like get to me. Like I'm really someone that these kids look up to, and they want a picture and an autograph as well. So no, those low moments that actually like made my day a little bit. So
when was the first time that some kid wanted a picture autograph with you? And just take us that story.
I was in the gym and I think I overheard these little kids having a conversation saying, "Is that Zuby?" And then I kind of turned around a little bit. I was like, "Who said that?" So yeah, they came up to me later on in the day and they said, "Hey, are you Zuby?" I was like, "Yeah." And then they were like, can we take a picture?" And I think their parents took a picture with me and the kids as well. So that was really a really good experience and a little good moment in my life.
Something else that I've noticed about you is that you're not the only person that necessarily does this, but you obviously are someone that doesn't necessarily care as much about social media than some other guys do. I know that's not something you're as active as some people. What's led you to be that direction? Like, what's kind of said, I'll be on social media and all that, but I'm not going to necessarily put a ton of effort into the branding aspect of gaining the followers and caring about that kind of stuff. What's made you more so focused on other things that as opposed to just social media?
I just do me. I don't really be on, like you said, I don't be on social media a lot. A lot of times I really just be in the gym working on my craft. I don't really do and worry about how much followers I got and stuff. But uh, I think it would help later in the future. And if that actually happens, I'm okay with that. But if it don't, that's still cool.
So you're going through this process now, and you've kept your recruiting pretty quiet compared to a lot of people. Not too many people knew exactly where you'd be heading or what your top schools were going to be or anything. So when you're getting down to that point where you went on all your visits now and you're coming to early July when you obviously announced your commitment, who really did it come down to? Like, was there a top two or top three maybe in your personal circle you guys had?
Yeah, me and my family we talked about it. I think Kansas, I say Texas, and I say top four: Kansas, Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Those were my top four.
So if you couldn't end up going to Kansas, like let's say they never decide to offer you or whatever, what school do you think you'd be going to next year?
I'll probably say Texas.
Mm-hmm.
It was close to the family. I live in Texas. It's close to the family, so they could go to a whole lot more games. So I'll probably say Texas was the second option on that.
Now, the timeline in terms of Kansas and you committing there was you get the offer on May 24th, then you go on your visit, I believe, June 23rd, and then you obviously commit the 1st of July.
Mm-hmm.
Take us through that couple of months time span, like the very first time you started talking to Coach Self and the staff to when you officially said, I'm going to come to Kansas publicly. What all happened in that process? Like, how did they ultimately win you over? And just what was that process and that timeline like?
It's just them being a whole lot genuine. Coach Self, he's a really good guy, and Coach Norm, he recruited me, and yeah, it's just like them being a whole family oriented.
Mm-hmm.
I went to the campus. I went on the visit. I see how they all care about each other. They all want each other. They all want each other to be great and be somebody. And the competition factor, they compete in practice so hard, but when practice is over, they're all dabbing each other up. They're all cool. So just the intensity. That's the kind of guy that I am, and I saw myself like fitting really good in that position. And all the conversations with Coach Self and Norm, those guys, they're, like I said, really genuine. So those conversations helped me win them over the other schools.
When was the point that you decided that Kansas is where you want to play at? Was it during your visit, right after your visit, or when did that all of a sudden settle in for yourself when you said, you know what, I'm going to Kansas. This is the place I feel God wants me going to.
It's actually crazy because right after our Kansas visit, my coach Andy was literally telling me throughout the entire car ride, Zuby, this is the one. I was like, Coach, hold on. We haven't even visited the next school yet. He was like, yeah, I know, Zuby, but I don't see how any other school is going to top Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually felt that in my head as well, but I didn't want to tell him that. But I actually felt in my head that, man, Kansas is really a really good school. I can't see how any other school could really top this one.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really the moment that right after the visit that we realized that, dang, it probably would be Kansas that I'll be seeing myself going to next year.
When you decide that and you guys finally said, okay, we're going to Kansas now. This is the place for me. Then you have to obviously go and tell Coach Self and the coaching staff. So gotta give us that story. How did you tell them? Was it a Zoom call? Maybe you went out in person. Like, how did you tell them that you're going to Kansas, and what was their reaction?
He actually didn't believe it for a second because my coach Andy, I was right there too. My coach Andy, he called Coach Self. He was like, Coach, we going to Kansas, man. And Coach Self was literally like, wait, what? Really? Are you serious? And like I could see that he was the excitement in his I could hear the excitement in his face and in his voice. I mean, I could hear the excitement over the background, and I guess he told these other coaches as well, and they kind of texted me after that moment. So it was really funny. He actually didn't believe I was going there, but yeah.
So when this all happened, then how many days before you announced your commitment? Because then you announced on July 1st. So when did you tell Coach Self? Like, was it the day before, a couple of days before you announced it publicly, or when did you tell him?
I think it was a couple of days. It was a couple of days before. And then he kind of told me and Coach Andy that we should go ahead and announce that. So we went ahead, we announced that, and my Twitter, my Instagram started blowing up. And all my friends congratulate me and stuff. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
How did it feel to know that, okay, now the recruiting process is over. You obviously just got done blowing up, and now you have your school picked out. So you don't have to worry about college now for the next year of your life. How big was that for you then moving forward?
Yeah, the recruiting process was kind of tough because, yeah, all these different coaches texting me on a daily basis. So when we kind of announced that, it all dialed down. So it was kind of a sense of relief off of me and my coach, because my coach Andy was the one that was doing the most like talking and the texting, and I could see that he was kind of getting tired of that. So we announced that we was going to Kansas, and he all kind of dialed down. So we kind of had that sense of relief that dang, it's finally over, that we finally, made our choice, and now we just get ready.
One aspect I know is changing college basketball is obviously a huge component, is the NIL aspect. And I know it's obviously a huge thing for players. You can make money now. How big of an impact did that have in your recruiting process, or did it really even matter much to you?
It didn't matter much at the time, but now I kind of realized that, man, yeah, it's really getting serious. So that's really but first I gotta work.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta work for, getting that starting position at KU, and all the money and other stuff will come easy, being that kind of like starter on the team and making a huge impact, like I said before, my freshman year. So all that will come, all the money and stuff will come a whole lot easier for me. But I saw that as an opportunity, to make some money and make a name that people will realize when I get on campus.
Did Coach Self talk too much about NIL during the recruiting process? Like, did they make a pitch at all in that aspect, or did that not start until after you commit?
Actually, no, it didn't until I committed.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really talk much about it. No.
Now, I know also it's a huge thing for you. I know you've mentioned in a couple of different interviews you've done before is that obviously to help your family. And you even mentioned a little bit earlier that obviously your mom still works super hard and you want to be able to help her out as much as possible. How big is it in that aspect for you now to know that you get to help her out possibly and just be someone that could possibly earn money to help the family out as well? How big is that for you?
It's a really big opportunity, but like I said, I gotta work. Immediately I hit campus, I gotta stay locked in. I gotta work, and yeah, all the competition and practice is all gonna matter in the long run, because once I get really comfortable in my game, all the money will start coming in, and then I could, like help my family out. But it's not gonna come easy. I gotta work the moment I get on campus.
Obviously, you commit before they were the reigning champions. So knowing that you get to go into an environment when obviously there's a lot of difference. Ochai's not going to be there. Remy's not going to be there. McCormick's not going to be there. But it's still the program. It's the reigning champions. How exciting does that make it now for you, knowing that you're about to go on campus in a few weeks to the school that just won a national championship?
It's crazy. I'm going to the national championship team. So it's gonna be hard going back to back, but I believe in the coaching staff, and I believe in the new recruits that we get next year, and the guys that was there, the experience factor as well. So I believe we could go back to back, and we just gotta stay ready. We all the 2022 recruits like us. We gotta go to campus, realizing that it's not gonna be easy going back to back, and we all have the same goal as obviously, win another national championship at KU. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see.
This class is special. Number 3 to be specific. And I know we talked earlier. I mean, rankings don't mean that much. It is just a number, but the talent is still there. We talk about yourself. Ernest is an incredible player. Grady is an incredible player. MJ is another great player. When you guys were all going through this process, I know you were the second commitment behind Grady. I know he was the first one. Did Grady have any impact in your recruiting process? Like, did you get to know him when you were going through that process? Or did you guys first start to talk after
it? We visited Kansas during the same time, so I talked to him a little bit. I'm not gonna say he was the reason I committed to KU, but we did have a little talk when we were visiting the campus and stuff. So, but he's definitely it wasn't the reason that I committed.
So then you two became locked in, officially part of the Kansas number 2022 recruiting class. Then you have to add in Ernest and MJ. So did you have any pitch to them? Did you ever talk to them, try and entice them to come to Kansas? Or when did you first start to get to know those two guys?
I actually don't know much about them. I didn't actually talk to him at all. MJ was on our recruiting as well. He was there when I was there as well as Grady. So I talked to MJ a little bit, but Actually, we did. Yeah, I talked to MJ a little bit. Ernest, I really didn't. I haven't had a chance to talk to him yet. So,
Mm-hmm. So from what you know so far in terms of on the court between yourself, what you're bringing, what Ernest will bring, what Grady will bring, what MJ is going to bring, how special do you think this 2022 recruiting class will be when we look back at it? So probably 4 years, you can officially know what everyone did. How special do you think this group will be?
I feel like from what I've seen, I feel like we're gonna compete. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna compete in practice. We're gonna compete in the games. We all have a special skill set that we gonna bring to KU. So we gonna be we definitely gonna be an exciting group to watch. That's what I'm gonna say.
Obviously, I do want to get into Coach Self because he's one of, if not the best coach in the entire country. He's now even working his way up to all-time great coaches as well now. Knowing that you get to play for a coach like that, how excited does that make you now getting ready to go play for him?
Really, really excited because, like I said, he a great guy and a great coach. So yeah, going to play for him is gonna be really something that's gonna impact me as a player on and off the court. I could see the impact he had on this past team. I could see how they all treat him. I could see how they all love him. So I feel like that's going to be something that I'm going to experience my time at KU. So I'm really definitely excited to play under him.
How have you seen your relationship with Coach Self grow from the first time you guys started talking to today?
Really good actually, because he actually ended up going to one of my games. So yeah, just seeing him, how long it took for him, to fly out here just to watch me play. That
Mm-hmm.
was really special. We had a little talk after the game as well. He told me how much I played really, really good, and he's excited to get me on campus. So yeah, it really grew from that point. And then we started having a little conversations here and there. So that's where it all really started growing.
Was there anything about Coach Self that surprised you, like before you ever talked to him, and then after you started getting to know him? Was there any part about him, rather his personality, a trait about him, like something that surprised you that you weren't expecting Coach Self to be like when you first went and talked to him?
It's all different when you see a man on TV and then actually seeing him in person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like he's a coach that I could really talk to and kind of bond with. So yeah, just I watched him on TV, and then yeah, when I seen him in person, it was a whole different. He was so genuine. He had a whole lot of conversation with me and my family. He also talked to my mom as well, and she told me how much she loved him as well. So yeah, he's a really pretty chill dude.
Is there a favorite memory that sticks out to you? Like, what would you say is your favorite memory you've created so far with Coach Self?
Uh oh yeah, this was pretty fun. So my coach Andy, after KU practice, my coach Andy, he hit a shot, right? He hit
Mm-hmm.
a mid range shot, and then my coach Self, he was like, Zuby, you gonna match that? So I got the ball, I hit a 3-pointer, and he was like, oh my gosh, did anybody get that? Did anybody get that? Coaches, staff, did anybody get that shot? And he was like, and then he told me, he was like, your shot looks good, man. Can't wait to get you here. That's all I hear from him every time. He can't wait to get me in campus. So I'm ready to go.
You're going to be heading into, in my opinion, I think a lot of people is now the best conference in college basketball. There's no nights off in that conference. It's the Big 12. How excited are you to be going into that conference and know that you're going to go up against countless pros, countless great coaches, great programs each and every single night when you guys get to conference play?
Yeah, the Big 12 is the best conference in college basketball. So
Mm-hmm.
I understand that it's gonna be tough. So I got a whole lot of work to do. So to prepare me at that level, but it's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be fun to watch. I feel like I'm gonna make a good impact. So yeah, I can't wait to have that experience.
We went into depth a little bit, obviously, about growing up in Nigeria for a little bit of your life. And I know a lot of people know the ties between Kansas and Africa, and even Nigeria specifically, have been deep. There's been a lot of players that have kind of walked similar shoes to you. When you look at Joel Embiid, Udoka Azubuike, Ernest Udoka, your own teammate next year, yourself now, Ochai, the list goes on. Knowing that that's something that Coach Self has dealt with different players that are similar to you in that aspect, was that appealing to you at all in the process?
It actually was because when we went to visit, we got my mom was there as well, so she got to talk to Ochai's parents a
Mm,
little bit, and we got to have these little conversations with Ochai as well. So just like knowing that he's from that same descent that I am,
hmm
having those little conversations, it was actually funny and really good for me. So yeah, it was really special to have those little conversations and knowing that I'm gonna get a fellow teammate as well from the same descent area,
hmm
and Ochai, a really impactful player for KU,
hmm
uh, going to the league somewhere that I want to be at. So it was really really good.
This might put you on a little bit on the spot now, but if you look at all time the best KU players, who would you say would make up your best starting five from KU? So you got to give me your best, the best point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward in the center. If you want to throw in a six man, you can do that too. But what would your dream Kansas Jayhawk team look like?
Obviously, we put Joel at the five.
Over Will?
Uh huh. Uh, I say Devontae Graham going number the point guard. I watched him a little bit. He's really tough. And Ochai is really good. He's definitely going to be a really really good impactful player in the league.
Yep.
But yeah, I say he's probably number two. I got Wiggins, and then I'll probably say I'll put one of the Morris twins on there as well. But yeah, those my five.
So you're not going to put Will, Paul Pierce, or Danny Manning in there?
Oh snap! I forgot those. Let's see. Yeah, Paul is definitely in there, of course. Mario, Mario Chalmers is in there,
Yep.
so I'll probably say Joel, Wiggs, Paul, Mario, and I'll say Ochai. Ochai had a really outstanding season this past season, so I'll probably say Ochai.
Absolutely. Well, obviously, the goal for you would be having someone in maybe 10 years or so when I ask that question and come and say your name in that group. So fans are going to be ecstatic to get you in out there at the end of the day. So what can you tell fans are bringing to this program when you get out there as a freshman? And obviously, it might take a couple games to get used to the team and all that and playing at that level. But when you start getting comfortable and you're playing yourself out there, what can fans expect you to bring to Kansas?
I'm gonna bring a whole lot of energy, 100%, 110% effort every night, energy, and just a guy that the crowd is really gonna love. That's the kind of person that I feel like I will be my freshman year.
When you look at different players you might have watched growing up or even today, who is someone that you might compare yourself to? Maybe even a couple different guys that you take pieces from. Like, who are some guys that you like modeling your game after?
I'm trying to do a little bit of a KD right now. I'm
Mm-hmm.
working a whole lot on my handle right now and my off the dribble shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at KD and a guy like uh, Joel in the
Mm-hmm.
post. I study his game a lot as well, and his footwork is so good. So I'm looking at those two players as a guy who could bang, you could bang with down low, and a
Mm-hmm.
guy who could also take his man off the dribble from the 3-point line and go get a bucket as well. So those are two main guys that I really try to study at the game right now.
And that will be a huge thing because obviously Ernest has worked on his game. He's his best thing, I think, in my opinion, will be a rim running, kind of lob threat type of guy. So knowing that you two will be together at least 1 year, how big has it been and how much of a focus have you put on being able to shoot the mid-range shot? Step out, maybe you shoot a three in games. How big as of an emphasis have you put on that in the past year or so since you commit to Kansas and getting ready to go on campus now?
Yeah, it's a really big factor in my game right now. Like I said, I'm working a whole lot. I'm working harder than I ever been at, handling the ball off the dribble and taking shots in the perimeter as well. So I feel like I'm gonna bring that to the table at KU next year as well.
You look at this team, it's still coming together a little bit. Obviously, just got a huge pickup from Kevin just yesterday, coming from Texas Tech now. But there's still some up in the air. We know Ochai's gone, and Remy and Mitch, and Jalen Coleman lands a lot of different guys. Jalen Wilson, obviously, still on the border. Christian Brown as well. But when you look at the guys you know are going to be there, so pretty much everyone, maybe not including Jalen or Christian, how special do you think this KU team can be this upcoming season?
Really, really special. I feel like we can make a run at the title next year as well again. But yeah, just looking at these guys that we trying to pick up right now, I think they're trying to pick up this guard. What's his name again?
Tyrese Hunter? Yeah, from Iowa State, yeah.
Yeah, so we trying to pick up a whole lot of pieces that we feel like will help us to get to that title again. So, like I said, the 2022 class, we're going to bring energy to the team and a whole lot of new skill sets as well. So we looking pretty scary for next year.
Well, let's say Jalen decides to come back. My opinion, I think Christian's going to go. I think he's ready for that. But obviously, we'll see what he decides in the next couple of days. But in terms of Jalen, if he does decide to come back, that'd be a huge guy to learn from. He's obviously a national champion. He's an incredible player. How big do you think that would be for you to be able to learn from a guy like Jalen Wilson for a year?
Definitely really good. A guy with 3 years.
Yeah, he should have won and played 2. Yeah.
A guy with 3 years experience on the team, and he got to get the ultimate goal in winning a championship. So he knows what it takes to get to that level. So just picking his brain a little bit and getting those little pieces of what it takes would really impact me as a player to help me and my team out next year. So that would be really impactful.
Let's say we add in Tyrese Hunter or we add in Christian and or Jalen Wilson as well into this team. How much better do you guys then become?
A whole lot better. Those are guys with experience in college for a long time. So it would definitely up in our chances in making a run for the title. So, yeah, those guys are really experienced and they're really, really good and talented players. So that will really help our team out a lot next year.
Well, do you know that all guys want to be remembered for something? So when the day does come that you decide to leave Kansas and move on to the NBA or professional, whatever it is for you, what do you want to be remembered for what you achieved both on and off the court throughout your Kansas career?
I'm trying to accomplish all the things that Ochai kind of accomplished. Like seeing him accomplish those moments.
Yep.
That was really, really special. And I'm trying to accomplish those. But at the end of the day, the main thing I'm trying to accomplish is that national title. I want to get that. I want to have that feeling of being a champion one time in my life. So if I do and when I do leave, I want people to know that he gave it his all for KU. He put on that uniform and gave 110% effort every night, and he got a national title his last year in KU. So
something I want to wrap up discussing is something we touched up a little bit on throughout this interview, but that's your faith. So I know that you are a believer and you're vocal about your faith as well. So take us a little bit through that. Like, how would you say God has helped get you to the point that you're at today?
I'm a really, really strong believer in God. Me and my entire family, we believe in the Lord, and we go to church every Sunday. So, yeah, we really believe that God gave us all the opportunities that we got right now. Like, it's really unbelievable. My brothers, we all got offers at the moment. So my mom don't got to worry about, paying so much money for college. So that's really, really big. And that doesn't just come by ourselves because we pray to God every night and he provides so much for us.
Yep.
So, yeah, we're really, really strong believers in the Lord. And he gave us a whole lot of opportunities that we at right now. So
we've gone through your story now. Where would you say has been the biggest moment you've seen him show up in your life?
Uh, I'll definitely say him bringing Coach Andy and my second mom in my life, because they made such a big impact. I would not be where I'm at right now without them.
Mm-hmm.
So they made such a big impact from the first day that I met them to this moment that I'm in right now. So that's really the Lord bringing two great people onto my life, and they changed my entire life from that moment I met them. So I really thank the Lord and them for what they've done for me.
As someone else that's grown up in a Christian household, obviously you kind of learn the stories early on, you just kind of know about God. But what point in your life would you say that you started really getting that personal one-on-one relationship with God? You started trusting in him. You just kind of felt like you're on the same page as God in a certain sense. When would you say that started happening for you?
Uh, all my life really, but probably sophomore year.
Mm.
I've been praying a whole lot. I prayed to him almost every night for some of the things that I already got to accomplish. Like, I prayed to him to give me those things and for me to experience those moments, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed for offers. I was one of them kids who prayed for offers for me to go to these camps and these games and impact people so that my name could get out there. And all those things that I prayed for, I actually got them. I got to get my name on there on the ESPN. I got to be ranked. I got to get offers. I got to go D1 like I prayed about. So probably that was right around my sophomore junior year that I started really getting in touch with him. But I've been my entire life, but around those times, that's really when it really started getting like to me.
Let's say in the future you do make the NBA, you get the max contract, whatever it is, but at the end of the day, the money's taken care of. That's not something you have to worry about anymore. Where would you say God's led you? Or is there one place that you say like you feel driven that you want to help out? Rather it be back home in Nigeria, rather it be in America, rather it be the homeless or orphans, whatever it is. Is there an area or place in life that you feel led that you'd want to get back and help out in?
Yeah, probably back in Nigeria. My mom always said to give back to where you're from. So I know she loves giving back to where she was from, which is Nigeria. So yeah, if I get the money, I'll give it to her and she could go say, because a whole lot of people are struggling back there. So yeah, just going back to her homeland and giving back to those guys who are in need of help, that's probably what I would do.
Well, I've got one final question for you. What would you say is your three biggest goals for your Kansas career? When you get done playing there, move on, whatever that is, what are your three biggest goals that you have set for your KU career?
The national title, Big 12 Player of the Year, and probably Naismith Player of the Year. I want those. Those my goals. Definitely the championship though. My main goal, but those my three goals right now.
Absolutely. Well, Zuby, congratulations, man, on your commitment again. And I'm excited to see what God's got in store for you throughout your KU career. Enjoy the final couple of weeks at school, man, and appreciate taking time to come on today, man.
No problem. Appreciate you.
Of course. Always welcome on, man. God bless.